Think you've got what it takes to come out on top of any fight, argument, or all-out war of words? Or are you going to tuck tail and run like the rest? How to win any conflict isn't your grandma's pep talk. This is the down and dirty guide to crushing your enemies, silencing naysayers, and securing your place at the top. Gone are the days of backing down. With strategies stolen from the minds of history's greatest victors and tactics that would make Sun Tzu take notes, you're about to become a force no one can reckon with. You ready to stop being the underdog? To make compromise a word for the weak? Stick with me and I'll show you how to manipulate the battlefield, whatever it may be. Office politics, social standoffs, family feuds, they won't know what hit them. Rule number 1 in the art of war and in our merciless guide to conquering conflict, know your enemy. But this isn't about some half-hearted attempt to understand them. No, it's about dissecting their psyche piece by piece until you can predict their moves better than they can. It starts with research, obsessive, detailed, and unrelenting. Social media, mutual acquaintances, past conflicts, you're gathering ammo for the showdown. And in the digital age, ignorance is a choice. Use every scrap of information to your advantage. But here's the twist. It's not just about what they show the world. It's about reading between the lines. Their fears, insecurities, desires, these are the keys to their undoing. You're not just learning about them. You're learning how to dismantle them. And remember, knowledge is power, but only if wielded with precision. It's not enough to know your enemy. You must understand them so deeply that you can play their reactions like a fiddle. When they zig, you zag. When they expect force, you feint with finesse. You're not just in their head, you're orchestrating their downfall with it. This is the foundation of every victory to come. Master this, and you're not just winning battles, you're on your way to winning the war. Because in the game of conflict, the most dangerous weapon is a mind that knows its opponent better than they know themselves. You've infiltrated the enemy's mind, but now it's time to unleash the beast. Point 2. Master the art of intimidation. This isn't about schoolyard bullying, it's the psychological warfare that legends are made of. You're going to learn to wield fear like a weapon, making them quiver before you've even landed your first verbal jab. Intimidation is an art form. It starts with your presence, how you enter a room, your body language, the unwavering gaze that says you're not just here to play, you're here to dominate. But it's not just physical. Your words, your tone, the calculated pauses that hang heavy with implication, these are your arsenal. And in this war of wills, hesitation is the enemy. You speak with such conviction that they'll doubt their own arguments before they've even made them. And here's the secret sauce: unpredictability. When they can't pin you down, can't predict your next move, you're already in their head. You're the boogeyman in the closet, the monster under the bed. They won't admit it, but they're scared. And that fear, it's your most loyal ally. Remember, intimidation isn't about what you do. It's about what they think you might do. It's the shadow you cast, long and menacing, before you've even made your move. It's the art of making them defeat themselves in their minds before the battle has even begun. You've got inside their head. You've become the monster they fear in the dark. Now it's time for the first strike. In the art of war, the element of surprise is your greatest weapon. But surprise isn't just about timing. It's about delivering a blow so precise, so devastating, that they're reeling before they even realize the fight has started. The first strike isn't about brute force. It's about smart force. It's identifying the weakest link in their armor and crafting your attack so meticulously that it hits exactly where it hurts the most. This isn't just about throwing the first punch, it's about making sure it lands so hard they can't find their footing again. And how do you ensure your strike is both unexpected and unforgiving? By knowing when to act. Timing is everything. Wait for the moment when their guard is down, when they're basking in the illusion of safety, and then Strike. It's not just about the element of surprise. It's about exploiting it ruthlessly. But here's where it gets really interesting. The first strike isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a whisper that turns the tide, a carefully leaked piece of information, a rumor that sows doubt, a strategic alliance no one saw coming. It's about creativity in your aggression. Remember, in this game, the first mover advantage isn't just an advantage, it's a statement. It says, I control the battlefield, I dictate the pace of the war. It's about showing them that while they're playing checkers, you're playing 3D chess. So, as you plot your course to victory, ask yourself, what's my falcon strike? How will I ensure that my first move is so bold, so brilliant, that my opponent spends the rest of the game in recovery? Weaponize your words. Welcome to the armory where your tongue is sharper than any sword and your words more explosive than any artillery. In the realm of conflict, the right word at the right time can dismantle an opponent more effectively than any physical blow. This is where finesse meets ferocity. Your language, your delivery, your timing. It's all a carefully choreographed dance designed to disarm and disorient. But make no mistake, this dance is deadly. Crafting your verbal arsenal requires precision. Every word must serve a purpose, whether to undermine, to intimidate, or to inspire fear and doubt. It's about constructing sentences that strike with the accuracy of a sniper's bullet. But here's the real power move. It's not just about what you say, it's about what you imply. The art of insinuation, of suggesting without stating outright, lets you land blows without ever seeming to swing. Remember, in this war of words, your goal isn't just to win the argument, it's to leave such a lasting impact that the mere memory of facing you instills dread. It's psychological warfare, and your words are the weapons that will haunt them long after the dust has settled. So, how do you arm yourself for this? Study, practice, refine, become a master of rhetoric, a connoisseur of connotation, a tactician of tone. Know that with each word you wield, you're one step closer to victory. In the cacophony of battle, the loudest bomb can be silence. Welcome to the silent battlefield, where the power lies not in what is said, but in what is left unsaid. Our fifth tactic, embrace the power of silence. Silence is the ultimate psychological weapon. It's the void that opponents will rush to fill, often with their own doubts and insecurities. While they scramble, you're observing, calculating, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. This is the art of making your silence speak louder than any words could. It's a challenge, a provocation that can unsettle and unnerve. When you hold back, you're not just withholding information, you're setting a trap. But here's where mastery comes into play. The effectiveness of your silence depends on your ability to read the room, to know when your silence is more provocative, more challenging, more unsettling than any verbal onslaught could be. It's a dance, a game of chess, where your next move is always a mystery. In silence, you're not passive. You're powerfully present, commanding the space around you without uttering a single word. Mastering the power of silence is mastering the art of control. It forces others to confront the echo of their own words, to question their stance, to doubt their certainty, and in that doubt you find your opening. If silence is our stealth weapon, our next strategy is the art of invasion. Psychological dominance, the craft of conquering not just the physical space, but the mental arena. This is where battles are won before they even begin. This isn't about brute strength. It's the subtler, more insidious form of control. It's about embedding yourself so deeply within their psyche that you become the echo in every thought, the shadow in every decision. You're not just an opponent. You're the puppeteer, and they dance to your rhythm. The key, it's all in the preparation. Study them, understand their fears, their motivations, and then twist the knife. Use this knowledge to unsettle, to unnerve. And here's where you turn your insight into action. With every piece of knowledge, with every discovered fear or desire, you craft a strategy that's not just about confronting them, but about dismantling them from within. Your presence becomes a spectre that haunts their every decision, a whisper in the wind that throws off their balance. It's a dance of shadows and light, where you lead and they follow, often without realizing. You dictate the pace, the space, and the intensity of the conflict. Your moves are not just felt on the board, they resonate in the very core of your adversary. This is the essence of psychological dominance. It's not about the clash of swords, but about the weaving of a web so intricate, so suffocating, that they become trapped in their own mind. You're not just playing a game, you're rewriting the rules, making it so that every path they consider, every strategy they concoct, leads only to you. Turn their allies against them. In the intricate dance of conflict, it's not just about your strength, but about undermining theirs, turning their pillars of support into your conduits of victory. This tactic is as old as time, but remains one of the most potent weapons in your arsenal. It's about sowing seeds of doubt, exploiting cracks in their facade, and watching as their fortress of solidarity crumbles from within. You're not just fighting your opponent, you're making their own ranks do the work for you. The art lies in the subtlety of your approach. It begins with understanding the web of relationships that surrounds your adversary. Look for the discontented, the ambitious, the overlooked. These are your allies in waiting, the keys to unraveling the unity that stands against you. Engage in psychological reconnaissance. Listen more than you speak. Gather intel that reveals the fissures within their camp. Then, with the precision of a surgeon, apply pressure where it will have the greatest effect. A well-placed word, a rumor that confirms their suspicions, an offer that preys on their ambitions. These are the tools of your trade. But tread carefully, for this path is fraught with danger. Missteps can turn potential allies against you, and overt actions can alert your opponent to your strategy. Like a shadow, you must be felt but not seen, influencing events without revealing your hand. As we forge ahead, remember, the most devastating victories are those where you win by turning the enemy's strength into their weakness. Master this, and you hold the power to not just defeat your opponents, but to dismantle them from within, piece by piece, ally by ally.